Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will be showing you how you can apply Kubernetes to a NextJS application with Postgres. So let's get started. Now I want to make it one thing clear. I'm not using persistent volume claim. I will be covering that in the next video. So yeah, let's get started. So first I have installed Docker Desktop and I have enabled Kubernetes over here. I'm not using Minikube. I'm just using the Docker Desktop Kubernetes thing. And the first thing is here you can see one application running. Now here I'm running the application on my local dev. So the Postgres database which it is using is like I'm using NeonDB, which provides a free Postgres database instance without registering credit card or debit card. So you can use whatever Postgres you want. I have created one users table and that's all. Okay, so here you can see if I add something like this xyz, and here I'll just add xyz@gmail.com. so it will add this particular user to my Postgres database. So here you can see if I try to refresh as well, the data is persisted because it is from our database. But what we will do is, instead of using this NeonDB Postgres database, we'll create a Postgres database in Kubernetes itself. I don't know, some people consider that as a good practice. Some people say that don't create your own database in Kubernetes, just use Amazon's Postgres or whatever Postgres, let others handle it, don't handle it yourself. So I don't know what the best practice is. Typically I would follow like if you are having a cloud provider, let it handle the database stuff, because database stuff is really hard, like doing replication, making sure it does not go down and all that stuff. That's why I pretty like to handle it to the cloud provider, even though it cost me a little bit more, but yeah, it's completely up to you. So let's get started. So first I'll just quickly explain you the code. So this is my NextJS application. Simply minimize everything. Okay, so first what I have done, I have went to next.config.ts. Now this is a mistake which I did in my previous Next.js Kubernetes tutorial. I was not using the standalone output of Next.js. Typically this is the recommended thing if you are using Docker Kubernetes for Next.js. So make sure you add this output : standalone to your next.config.ts. Then just go to, so inside .env I have added the Postgres URL, and given that I'm using API handlers, like route API handlers, I'm also added the base URL. So in our case this would be http://localhost:3000. okay, so make sure you add these two environment variables inside your .env. Then I just went to go to app, go to API, use, and here I have created users. Here is our route.ts. so here you can see we are importing user as well as query. Also inside my package.json I have installed this extra package of pg as well as type/pg. That's it. Then let's come over here. So here you can see inside the get call we are just executing this particular query, and inside the post call we just do insert into users and insert the name and email. That's it. Okay, then you need to go to components. Here before I go to components, here I have created a lib db.ts. so here we have importing, like initializing our Postgres database. So like I said, this Postgres URL is defined inside .env file. Make sure you add that as well. And yeah, here we are just initializing our Postgres database. That's it, nothing else. Then you need to go to types, user.ts. Then here we created a user interface where we pass id, name, email, created at and updated at, but only the name and email are mandatory fields. Then here I have created one component called create user form. Now typically you should not use useState inside Next.js 16. There is something called server actions as well, like mostly use that, but just to keep things simple I'm using it like this. Okay, so I have created name and email, and once it is submitted we just call our API. That's it, and we just change the state back to empty. We do router.refresh. Here is our form, here is our input, and here is our button. That's it. Then let's go to page.tsx, and here I have imported suspense as well as create user form. So this is our create user form, and here we are loading our users, so that's why I'm using suspense. Here is our user list where we just fetch our users, and if you see here we are again doing an API call. Again this base URL has been defined inside my .env, which is http://localhost:3000. Alright, so yeah, here we are just displaying all the users. That's it. Now let's go to our Docker file. So first you can create a docker ignore, and we are ignoring node modules as well as k8s folder. I'll come back to k8s later on. And here is our Docker file. So I'm using node 25 working directory. We are copying the package.json, running npm install. We are copying rest of the files, and here we again run npm run build, and here we have node 25 again we create a working directory. Here is our production environment, and here we just copy all the files, and here we expose the port and run our Next.js application. Okay, so let's come to page.tsx. I have written all the command, so I already have docker desktop running. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it. So here is my Next.js application running. I'll just quit the local server and I'll run this command. So it will build my docker application. Okay, in the meantime, let's go to the Kubernetes path. So you need to go to k8s. First you need to create a deployment.yaml. Before that, I forgot one step. Before you build this, make sure you have signed in inside your Docker hub, as well as make sure you have logged in with Docker on your terminal as well, because this Brave Evidence thing which you see is my username. You won't be able to push to my username if you don't have my credentials. So you will have to, instead of Brave Evidence, write your own credentials. Okay, so here you can see it has built it. Now we just need to push it. So for pushing, again the same username and the same image name you need to use, whatever you have used previously for building. So I'll just do this. Okay, then go to deployment.yaml, and here we have, again, mostly this is boilerplate code. So here you just need to give it some name, and here make sure the match labels app name as should be same. Typically follow that, as well as the container name. And for image, this should be your username as well as this the image name which whatever you gave, right? And here we are, container port is 3000, and here we are referencing secrets as well. So basically the dot things which we defined it inside .env. Then you need to go to secrets.yaml, and here you can see we have defined API version, kind, metadata, name, type, string data, base URL, and here is I have given some random username, password, database. Again, the database, Postgres database, will be created with the help of Kubernetes, so you don't need to have Postgres running on your local PC or anything like that. Okay, so that's why I've given it something gibberish. You can give it some proper name as well. Okay, so this is our secret. Then don't try to refer this variable over here. That's not how things works inside YAML. That's why I've just hard coded things. Okay, then let's go to service.yaml. Again, same thing, API, kind, metadata, name, and here this name app Next.js should match whatever you have defined over here as well as over here. That's why I've kept it as same. Then target port is 80, target port 3000, protocol TCP, type is node port. Then let's go to postgres.yaml. Now again, this I have just copy pasted it from the docs. So you have to define a metadata name Postgres app. Here is selector, match label app, Postgres app, template metadata app, again Postgres app, and here is our container. So we are just getting this image from Docker hub, the port, and here we are just passing all the values which we have defined inside our Next.js secret file, the secret.yaml file, sorry. Okay, and this is so in the same file itself I have created the service. So this is the service name, service-postgres, and okay, and this is the postgres-app. So same name whatever I have defined over here, make sure you use the same name over here as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now let's move on to the Kubernetes part. So you just have to do this kubectl apply -f k8s, because our Kubernetes files are present inside the k8s folder. Okay, so I'll just apply this. So it has applied, and now we need to get the URL. It will not be on localhost :3000. So to get the port number, given that we are using node port, I can easily run this, and this is my port, so I can directly run 3167, right? So yeah, something like this. Okay, I'm getting some error. Okay, so I know what this error is. So basically we forgot to create the users table inside our Postgres database. So if you want to debug things, you can easily do this. So you can first do kubectl get deployments. So here you can see our images are running. So there is some issue inside my Next.js -deployment file, right? So I can do something like this, kubectl logs deployment and this image pod name nextjs dash deployment. So I'll just run this. Here you can see it is basically saying it is not able to find the table, users does not exist. To create a table, so you just have to run this, just copy this. Now this I have just asked ChatGPT about this, so I'll quickly run this to create a table. Run this, then you need to run this, okay, then run this. So this will create a table. I don't know what this /q is for, and finally we want to exit. Okay, so we are just doing exit. So this is done. Now let's go back, let's see if this works. So here you can see it is working. So I can now just write abc@gmail.com. okay, I'll just copy the username over here as well, create user. So here you can see if I try to refresh, it creates the user now. So yeah, that's it. Now I want to tell you guys one more thing, which is that like I said, right, I don't try to maintain my own database, let Google Cloud handle it for me. So if you are doing the same thing, what you need to do is you don't need to write this postgres.yaml. So you can just completely delete this, and over here inside secret.yaml, here you just have to reference your Postgres database URL. That's all there is to it. You don't even need all of this as well, so you can remove this. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.